into the mass. I'm just saying, shouting out everybody out there. Do have a healthy day. You feel me? And remind yourself that you're here on the earth because you're actually a special individual. Anybody that wake up in the morning, you have a right to be on the earth. Those who are dead, their privileges was dismissed. They're no longer here. We can't worry about those who've been through the chute. We really cannot obligate ourselves to focusing on the dead. Yes, sometimes we retrieve their memory and we, have a feeling of nostalgia. But overall, I don't really see the purpose of focusing on the dead. When a person die, a lot of things that they said is really significant to the earth, or some of their views might be extremely important. But when a person die, like 10 years, from 10 years, rewind back then, from 10 years forward, sometimes that information does not even work anymore. So we gotta constantly stay in an upgrade stage. And we really gotta focus on manhandling our lives, or our lives would be in charge of manhandling us. Nah, you don't wanna do that. You don't want your life to manhandle you. You wanna manhandle life and you wanna go through whatever situation you're going through and be victorious. But I'm saying that to say this. Black men not really going nowhere in the earth. We thrive to become everything, but we not really going anywhere. The reason I say that is because the females that we associated with, they keeping us anchored in the poverty zone. I'm going to tell you why I explain that to you, and why I feel that way. A lot of dudes that's really into this life, they could have been so many different avenues in life, regulating in certain areas. But because of who you really associate with, and constantly having to think about her playing you. See, that's one of a brother biggest problem. He be, securing his life with a chick, and 70% of the time he has to be wondering, like, who's calling this bitch 12 o'clock at night? Any woman that's getting called 12 o'clock at night, they getting fucked by somebody else. You don't need to question that. Any woman that's getting called throughout the day and throughout the night has more than one man. That's a reality. Have you ever been around a grown lady? She has a job and she has like her husband and she has the home life to focus on. When she'll have interactions on the phone, but not throughout the day. And in addition, she will interact, but not constantly as a new generation females. Most new generation females are trying to figure out who could I fuck to get more money. That's the reality of association with these individuals. Most guys that's involved in a younger generation relationship, they really not gonna go anywhere that far. It's the signs are there for you to really observe and know that you ain't gonna really reach out to a certain dimension with that character. Women stagnate men from acceleration. And I really, 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 really feel that way. Miss Francine? Alright. No, I'm doing some vlogs. Yeah, cool. And I've been around a lot of homies. Like, I had homeboys in New York. They was making money, like, for real. Like this. Everything cool? Yeah, man. They was making money for real. And when you look at a man and you say to yourself, this man make millions. How is he broke 15 years later after making 30, 40 million dollars in a short period of niggas in New York accomplished that, man. You're the brokest nigga in New York. A street dude that's always broke. I'm gonna explain something to you. Even at his worst day, he still got money. Not out here in the Caribbean. It's harder. It's more difficult for you to grasp and put your hands on the resources. So when you do get it and now you want to lavish it on people that have a carefree life, they don't have no priority, men paying their way through life, you really got to observe women for a year, 2 years before you could associate with them on a level. Like, you could just basically meet a female, a black dude will meet a female right now. He don't really know her. He just met her the other day. Suddenly, all her problems, he inherited all her problems. So when you meet a female, how do you inherit her problems? Because once she explains certain situations to you, you internalize the information. And because of the fact that you're an empath, you want to fill that gap. Filling the gap for a person is not your responsibility. A female has her own life before you met her. Okay, you met a female, and like, take for instance, I go out there and I'm in the dating world or whatever the situation might have been. I met a female, she's 32, 33. She could be even be 44, 45. Now I'm into her. And suddenly, all her bills become mine. How? Let's get big and serious. How did I inherit all her bills? Because she been looking for someone to throw her bills at them so they could take up her responsibility. Sometimes you gotta learn the power of just simply saying no to a person. You wanna go to a club? Nah, I'm okay. I have more important priorities I'm tending to right now. A club would not really help me. Interacting with people that I meet at a club who's trying to have a little bit of fun can't help me right now. Because what can really help me is if I obligate myself to what I'm doing and stick tenaciously to the plan until I reap the rewards of my result from my blueprint and following it tenaciously. Now, a dude I'm gonna show you how easy a nigga go broke. It doesn't have anything to do with, oh, I make millions and why is you broke. It has something to do. Broke, a man that make millions and a man that goes broke it has a lot to do with his emotion. Good Lord. So now you have a man, he's basically obligating himself to maintaining this high fashion plate female. Now, a nigga might have been hustling, he might have been making money through heroin exchange, he might be into the cocaine trade, he might be into, most illegal guys make millions in New York. And within 15 years, you'll see the same guy asking you for a cigarette. And then you look at him and like, you don't say nothing to these dudes because they might be so upset that you remind them that they had money, they might turn on you. That's an evil that's in mankind. Even if you say to the person, man, what's going on with you? I haven't seen you in a while. What you mean you want a cigarette? Nigga, you could afford a whole trailer load of cigarettes. And nigga be like, nah, I'm off my feet. Like, I'm at the bottom right now. When a man meet a woman, he ought to observe her keenly and observe her lifestyle before he get entangled with her. Because you simply gotta observe it like this way. When you met a person that's 45 years old, or you met a female that's 25 or 31 or 28, she was living before you actually met her. Factually speaking, right? Good Lord. It's a plane passing overhead. It's flying in the opposite direction. Definitely, that's not the Munchshot plane. The plane is a little bit faster than the one from Munchrat. The plane from Munchrat act like it's crawling. Oh, the plane is actually making a U-turn to re-land because I've never hardly ever seen a plane traveling straight over the airport going west. They always go east and circumnavigate and travel west. Anyway, you meet a female that's 25, 28. You with her for 2, 3 years. You literally kept her alive by taking care of all her bills, all her responsibility. Treated her like a child, like she couldn't provide for herself everywhere she wanted to go. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere she wanted to go. You took your time out and you took her on her job. You do this, and if she want to go to a party, you takes her there, or you accompany her or pay her way. Now, 3 years of somebody sucking on your resources, no matter whether you're rich or not, your resources are gonna dwindle tremendously. You hear? I repeat, your resources are gonna dwindle tremendously. Now, in the process of this, he noticed that this bitch is dependent on his cash to survive. So he'll tell himself, man, you know what? She ain't no good for me after all. Since I've been around her, it's all spending. Why? No man in their right state of mind want to treat a girl like a baby. Just spending money over and over and over on their lives. These same women you're spending your money on, they have an income. Good Lord. They have an income. And what these very sad women do, they save their income and maintain saving it over years and years and years period of time. Then she's gonna sink you because after a while you're gonna realize that I'm around this female and I'm constantly spending my resources. You're gonna leave her eventually. So even if you don't want her or she don't want you, you're gonna make your mind up and tell yourself it's affecting you economically, so you need to travel out and deal with hypergamy. Hypergamy is when you switch up to a next person that's doing way better than the last person you have been with. And in the meanwhile, she has a harem garage filled with men that she could always access to gain assistance from. Now, she's basically going to treat you and have you think you're the only one associated with her on that level, when she might have 4 or 5 guys on standby. And guess what I learned about women? When they go around their other male subjects, they paint a very ugly picture of you. They even make statements like, he always be choking me, he slapped me a couple of times, and he do things to me, and he have me in the house and he's not putting anything in the house to eat. But she's never gonna say to that what's thought of as a hypergamy subject. She's not telling him she been around the guy for 3 years and not once he ever she ever bought food and placed it in the house. She's not gonna um, respectfully disclose that information to him, so that he himself is gonna be putting out so much in a 3 year time period. It normally start taking a toll on you in about a year, because you so into her and what she's doing, and you want to be in association with her. You're gonna basically notice after about a year that something ain't right. Then by the time you figure it out, it's another year now. You got feelings, man. You don't want to leave her. So you got caught up in a situation where you don't want to vacate the spot because other niggas has been on the prowl to have her put them in the spot where you is. So you figure, okay, a lot of niggas want, I need to keep that. Nah, move on. Then the black man does this once again. He moves on to another chick that's living the same life. He might spend 3-4 years with her. So a man that was rich in 15 years, based on the women that he is associated with, if his thoughts ain't accurate, or he can't articulate certain things within the boundaries of his mind, he's gonna spiral into an economical avalanche. And once he spirals out of control and hit rock bottom, he's in real depression stages. Because all of his friends are gonna say to him, man, you was treating that bitch like your wife. You and her finally broke up. Like, didn't you see something wasn't right all along? You think any of your friends are willing to help you out in your situation now that you have hit rock bottom? They're gonna say to you, man, you noticed that was taking place inside the boundaries of your relationship. Why did you maintain staying in the zone knowing there was nothing there for you to benefit from? Now she's gonna move on to the next dude that's doing the same thing you would have done, because she have men in her harem garage. Her harem garage is a bunch of men inside her inventory waiting on standby. When you finally acknowledge that this subject has nothing good to offer you in 3 years, she already have other men set in place. She know that you're gonna leave eventually. So before you leave, her priority will be to suck on every last one of your resource ends. And suck on it until there's basically nothing left, like a leech, like a parasite. They give nothing back. That's what's happening to black men out here. So I have friends in New York that was once super rich. They make more money than the goddamn president. They make more money than the head of the commissioner of police in New York. They make more money than half the people that work for the governmental agency. And their income so much millions, they don't even know how much money they income. That's how much millions their income in on a yearly basis. Once you realize she's no good for you after about 2 to 3 years, you're jumping over to see this other chick that you might want to familiarize yourself with, that you think is a proper woman. Same black chick, different body, different face, same mindset, shitloads of weave every day. She at the salon. She ain't paying for none of it. And he keep repeating the same thing that happened to him previously. So in a 15-year time period, after all of this intricate and complicated non-beneficial relationship, and taking care of women like that's your child, he's gonna go broke eventually. He might not be broke to the point where he cannot eat a meal, but he's at the point where he used to change his car every year. All that stops. He used to buy jewelry every 3-4 years. Or every time he break up with a chick, he buy new jewelry and get rid of the old ones. All of that changed. When you look, he had the same car, because he ain't going to stop driving easily. Or if he do decide to drive, he still will have a bunch of cars parked up all over the place. You see, these things has happened to me. That's how I'm explaining it to you, and it happened to a lot of my friends. Yes, I was once the guy with a lot of money. Yeah, I was. And I can truly attest to saying to you that women really did not finish my money. It's the wars that are engaged in the city of New York. New York has a lot of wars. It's either you kill or be killed. Now, I don't have to be a killer, but if I'm associated with these guys right here and they're killing people, I'm just as much a killer as them. Because one straight order, they'll come and murder you and your family. This is the life I was living in New York. I was living a dangerous life where I would set a nigga up to get buried. I would even set a bitch up to get buried because a bitch will set you up to be buried. So I was into so much wars, and most of my resources, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I didn't have resources. I had it in abundance. In fact, when I came to Antigua, I had resources in abundance. That's one of the major reasons I've never asked anyone for anything in and around my environment that I live. Neither am I reaching out attempting to gain anything from anyone. I always had my own back. Still do up to this very moment that I'm currently talking to you, which is the 2nd of June, which is on a Friday. Yes, I do not have as much money as I used to familiarize or associate with. Neither do I have access to as much, but it doesn't bother me. Because a lot of men are looking for a gun in the streets, but my mind is a gun. It can get triggered and I can get money caper up fast. But I'm not willing to do those things in Antigua. For what? To fuel a woman lifestyle? I was with a Jamaican woman. She had 4 kids. Like 4 different guys. She says to me, I need to get my life together. I said, what you mean? She said, why don't you get a job? I said, for what? For who? I said, I don't need a job. Well, at the time, I didn't need one. Like, I don't need a job. Why are you sending me to get a job? In fact, you live in my house. You're not paying any rent. You ever thought about that? Now, if I had to pay your rent, I would have had to come up with maybe all the money because you don't have no income. So now that you're in my house living for free, how is it you're going to tell me to go get a job? You see how women mind work? Now, when I get a job, what you think she want me to get a job for? It's to furnish her life. It's not for me. I'm not going to enjoy the resources that I have. It doesn't work like that with women. When they send you for a job, it's to maintain them. So it happened to me in Antigua also. I meet a lot of women. They all was dependent on my resources to live. Not anymore because I'm way smarter than before. I'm in my 40s right now, and I'm smarter 150% than I was before. And I'm also smart enough not to date younger generation women. You can't, a 40-plus-year-old man cannot have a relationship with a young girl. 23, 24, 25, it ain't gonna work. Number one, she have desires that you probably can't afford. She's gonna want to be at every club that she can possibly. She's in her formulation stages. When you're a grown adult, you want a female not in her formulation stages. You want a female that's already completed. When you meet a female, you're not even supposed to explain to her how to suck your dick. She's supposed to know how to eat your dick at that age where she at. She passed formulation stages. So she should know how to eat that dick right. They got niggas around here trying to teach women how to eat their dick. She know how to eat your dick. She doesn't want to pretend like she's good at it because she don't want for you to know she got that much experience. Women are suction cups, no matter their race or their creed. When they with a man, these new modern day women, they basically thrive to get rid of everything you got so you could shower them with all of your resources. Once you go broke, my man, you're a goner. You're a buster. You know what's a buster? A buster's a broke dude that have nothing to offer a chick but some dick. Then she gonna leave you, and you personally gonna see her with a buster. Like, yo, she left me as a buster. I wasn't a buster when she left me. She didn't meet you a buster. Now that you came down to buster level, she may as well go with a regular buster because you done switch your levels. Instead of you escalating, going up the pinnacle, reaching the higher apex of what you should possibly be, being that alpha male you should be, or that sigma male, or they got alpha beta males too. You know what's an alpha beta male? He's just so beta, he's an alpha in his sport. He's always giving till he got nothing. So this is what the black guys are experiencing, even myself. So right now, when I meet a chick, I don't care if she's hungry. Bitch, if you can't afford the basic, I don't need to know you. If I just met you and you're hungry, I don't need to know you. You want to go to a club? There's nothing wrong with that. But how am I going to attempt to know you at a club where there's so much noise? Okay, we going to a movie. Why are we going to a movie? We're going to watch other motherfuckers get rich and actually empower them getting richer from sitting there watching a movie. If a chick want to know me, tell me something about, hey, let's go to the beach. We don't have to swim. Because some people, women think if you want them at a beach, that you basically just want to fuck. That's what a lot of women thinks, man. They're like, yo, you want me at the beach, you want to fuck me. A nigga just want to chill. I don't want to be in a club. I don't want to be doing so many different things that you want to do. Because it ain't going to benefit me. It's going to benefit you because all your friends be like, let me tell you something, man. When you're an older guy and you get involved with younger generation women, when they go to their parties, they don't want you there because their friends are going to think that they're with their uncle. Because you look so old facially or so grown and mature facially that if she sees you, if a friend sees you with her, they're going to be like, who's that, your uncle? That's an insult to her. She don't want that to happen. That's a no-no. That's taboo. That shit don't cut. So that's why the black man is being broke for so many years. Because he keep going with the same type of female in a different body, different face, same lifestyle. Over the years, his resources becomes zero. So men, I'm pretty sure you could really consider what I'm saying to you. When you do meet a female and she wants you to extend your tentacles to her like you're married to her, it's time to go. She's not doing it for you. She's doing it for herself and to gain better. Hypergamy is monkey branching from a lesser nigga to a better nigga. Women are hypergamous. They go from one nigga to the next that they think is better, and they end up destroying their entire life simply because it was all a dream. The guys that they met only showed them what they have, so they thought they was rich. So you have a bunch of chicks that have intercourse with a bunch of dudes that have nothing. And when you're with them, you literally see these guys grabbing at their hands. You in the club, you take an Antiguan girl to a club, you gonna see somebody grab her butt, and you wanna wonder what the fuck is going on. Two of them have a relations that you don't know about. That's why he's at liberty to grab her butt. Because a regular normal man would not grab a woman's butt. That's a sexual assault. So when you see these things happening in and around you, just tell yourself, man, that you're not with the right woman. And somebody that's furnishing your relationship with sex repetitively is not the right woman for you. You're going to basically know that within maybe 3 months of being around her, but because of your hard-headedness, you're going to allow your emotions to grow around her and become bonded with her. So now the wrong lady is your girlfriend. A person with no respect, with no honor, they have nothing to contribute. This is who your woman is. So after having 5, 6 girlfriends of that caliber, what's the next result? You're broke. Once you're broke, no bitch wants you. Or the broke bitch that might have want you, she's all over the place like a textbook, like a cellular phone. Everybody be having her. So now you'll actually end up with a female that everybody been with. And you'll fall in love with that trash bag. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking from sheer experience. I'm a guy that did what I did. Yes, I made major figures in New York. I even made partially major figures down here. But I'm not really into it. I'm not into the police. I'm not into niggas disrespecting me. I'm not into the judge. You know, I don't want to see a judge face. Me and a judge has no relations. There's only one judge I probably would relate to. Miss Walsh. I mean, she's a judge, but she's a sexy-ass judge. If she wasn't married, I would do things to that lady to make her smile. I'm actually attracted to Miss Walsh. But she's a high society woman. These women don't want guys like me because they're married and they good in their relationship. But there's a lot of women out there I wouldn't associate with. They have cars, they have their own house. They're narcissists, most of them. So I'm just here to let you know this is what I had to offer in general for this vlog. It's about men going broke because they're with the wrong set of females, and the females that we associated with definitely ain't gonna help us accelerate in this world. So be considerate. Do not end up like how I ended up, even though I'm not at the lower echelon. I'm somewhere in the middle. I haven't destroyed myself to a level yet, and I refuse to destroy myself. But generally speaking, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to Godfather of Wigs on my YouTube channel. And please, don't forget that you can be a rich person if you stay away from bad company or women that's fashion plates. They have no desire for us. Take care, and I'm wigging on. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.